So, hello, welcome to Success in Motion. This happens to be our first episode, and today we are talking about sales. I have this quote from Robert Kiyosaki, who happens to be the author of Rich Dad Poor Dad, one of the most successful people, and he says that selling is the most important skill as an entrepreneur. And I'm not just talking about selling, I'm talking about not just selling your product, but selling yourself, your team, and your ideas. What do you think?
I think largely I would agree with this quote because when you look at sales, I mean, sometimes most of us think sales, you have to be in a particular profession, like a sales profession, before you can be called a salesman or a salesperson. But then, if you look at how our everyday activities, one way or the other, every now and then we are selling.
Yeah.
You are either selling to somebody or somebody is selling to you. You are selling yourself, you are selling an idea to somebody to get a certain outcome. I was just checking out a few videos online, and one gentleman was talking about how a disabled woman had her husband hospitalized, and then she wanted to go to the hospital to visit her husband, but she didn't have the means. So she had to sell an idea to people who she thought had the means to make it possible for her to go and see her husband.
Like when you talk about me, you're talking about finance.
Finances, or it could be in the form of resources.
Okay.
Because she couldn't move
Okay.
from where she was. So that idea of, that process of selling an idea to somebody and getting the person to buy into the idea with a long-term goal of you or that person helping you to move from where you are to that particular destination. That process was classified as a sales process. Because at the end of the day, an idea was sold and then an unexpected outcome was achieved. So it may not necessarily you selling a product, maybe a phone, a laptop, you are selling stuff at the market. That is not the only aspects of sales that we are interested in. You go for job interviews, what do you go and do?
You sell yourself.
Sell yourself. You understand? So for me, I think the skill of sales, the other skill that comes with the sales process, once you as an individual or as an entrepreneur, you are able to learn and harness those skills. It's going to be a plus for you. Yeah.
Calvin, you are an IT person. What do you think? Do you think sales is the best skill you need in this current dispensation?
Honestly, it's one of the most profitable skills out there now. Because if you look at a lot of businesses right now, sales is like the backbone of most businesses. Because you can have a business and it's thriving, but if the sales is not, the numbers from sales are not adding up, the business will end up crumbling.
Yeah.
Because I've seen a lot of, I live in Dakuma, right? And I see how these spare parts people try to sell to people on it. If the thing is not even good, but the way they will sell it to you, packaging will be actually different. So I think sales is a very important skill. As a human being, you should be able to sell.
And I think that Samir said it, it's not, when we talk about sales, people think that, you have to be a marketer, you have to be a salesperson and all that. But whatever field you find yourself in, you could be an athlete, you could be a business person, you could be a musician, you could be an actor. At the end of the day, we are all selling ourselves and we are selling our ideas. And I think that I totally agree with what Kiyosaki is saying, because even when you check history, you realize that the people that succeed have this sales skill, and that gives them an edge. You look at people like Thomas Edison and Nikola Tesla. There's always an argument who was the most smartest and brilliant and all that. Thomas Edison is more famous than Tesla is because Edison was not just an inventor, he was a businessman as well. He knew how to sell the things he was producing, he knew how to sell his ideas. Whereas Tesla was just a scientist who loved inventing things and all that. And with time, people started relating with Edison as the best genius we've ever had. Then you can also look at, even with Elon Musk, this Tesla car company, which happens to be one of the best companies in the country. Elon Musk did not start Tesla. It was started by two people, I think Martin Eberhard and Mark Tappan or something. But Elon Musk was the person that was able to sell the idea to get more investors in it. Because right now you have an idea and you're living in Adenta or somewhere with $0 in your 0 cedis in your bank account. You first of all have to sell the idea to somebody that will invest in it. So imagine if you get an opportunity to meet a rich person and you can't even sell what you believe in.
Exactly.
Then at the end of the day, like you don't have you'll be a genius, but you won't go anywhere.
You don't have anything to show for it, because I think I would agree with Calvin that you may have that wild idea, you may have that exceptional product or exceptional service, but until you have an individual, or let me say a department, a unit that is driving the sales, that is going out there communicating to people, telling them what we have and how that product or that service is going to solve a particular problem for them, you are not in business.
Yeah, I mean, sales is the engine for business growth.
Exactly.
When the engine goes up, I mean, the business will die.
And imagine you as an individual, you have certain skills, you have a certain knowledge set, you have certain competencies. If you don't, sometimes you need to make noise about what you are capable of. That is why it's very competitive when people are applying for scholarships, because there are a number of essays that would want you to tell the committee about what you are made up of.
That always discourages me. That's why I've never applied for scholarship.
And for me, that is a great opportunity to sell yourself. Sometimes it's a platform for you to boast.
Do you know that there are a lot of people who go for interviews who actually have the skills, but they never get employed because during the interview process they can't even sell themselves.
Exactly.
But there's somebody who just doesn't know anything about it, could come sit here confidently, and just bluff and talk to them about what he's achieved and all that, and then he gets the job.
Definitely. We may all have the same skill set. We all have first degrees. We may have certain experiences that is required for a particular job. Then we get invited for an interview. And one person is very articulate, very confident, is able to, communicate clearly with confidence. Then the other person is just, being shy and thinking that because I have this experience, I expect the committee to. I mean, it doesn't work that way. It hasn't worked that way.
I think it's very true with what Sammy said, because with my field, like IT guys, we tend to be in the room most of the time working on our machines, but
sometimes to machines more than speaking.
Yes, so sometimes talking to people is like work. So sometimes like this thing I have to learn it, because yes, the IT skills are very profitable, but just imagine combining it with sales, being able to sell yourself, being able to sell a product.
Yeah.
You're out like.
And you see, it's not just about the sales, it's the process of sales. I mean, you talk about skills like negotiation, persuasion. Yeah. I mean, we use these skills all the time. Yeah. As a married man, you would always negotiate with your wife. And so you don't just need to know how to sell, just like Robert is saying, a phone to somebody that wants to buy it, but you need to know how to negotiate. You need to know how to persuade people to come to your side. There's this movie. It's a story about BlackBerry. BlackBerry started in Canada as Research in Motion, and the guy that came up with the idea, Mike Lazaridis, very intelligent guy. But you see, he had such a brilliant idea, but he couldn't sell the product. He couldn't sell the idea to anybody, and they were broke. They were like dead broke. Until he met this guy who was a marketer who left his company and came to join him. I think Joseph Basili or some of the name like that. And then the guy with his sales and marketing skills was able to convince AT&T to sign BlackBerry. And that BlackBerry became BlackBerry. Yeah. So I've seen a lot of people who are very intelligent, like they're extremely intelligent, and they have so many ideas. But when you tell them when you even introduce them to somebody that has the means to help them, they can't hold conversation for. And sales will emphasize personal relationship skills. You have to learn it. I mean, you are a clinical psychologist, but how did you? But now you're a marketer. How did you migrate from?
Quite interesting, and that is what will make you understand that sales is the skills it comes with is very essential. And for me, those are the skills that we need to thrive in any situation. Like you mentioned, your interpersonal skills. You need communication skills. Even if you are not selling, let me say traditional selling, you need these communication skills in your dealing with in your relationships, in your family, and your workplace. Empathy. And for me, coming from a psychology background, I think it helps me in the sales business as well, because then I get to understand that people are different. Individual difference plays a role. Both the one selling and the one being sold to. They are people we classify as difficult clients. How do you help them?
Yeah.
You need to understand where they are coming from. For some people, by virtue of their upbringing, before they take out money to purchase products, there's a lot of psychological process that goes on for them. So having that psychological background, it gives me that how do you call it? That what's the right word? That patience, if you ask me. It gives me that patience. I know, okay, for some people it takes them some time to process. They need to buy the thing because they need it. Yes, and so there are a lot of some of these skills that you need as individuals to thrive. Even if you're not in traditional sales, you need negotiation, because every day you are negotiating.
Yeah, even with the church roll, everybody.
The church roll that we pick,
The
taxes, you are negotiating. Even this morning when I was coming here, I had to negotiate because the cash I had on me was limited. I didn't want to do mobile money transfer. So I had to negotiate so the driver accepted whatever amount I had in my pocket.
Yeah.
And it's not just because I'm a salesperson now, but these are things that happen every now in the building relationship. And for me, sales dwells on relationship.
I mean, you are into banking now.
Yes.
And, sales, I mean, a lot of people have this misconception. I don't know if it's a misconception, but sales is difficult. Whether it's a misconception or it's a reality. But then, it's like banking sales is a whole different game going together.
Yeah.
And the moment people, what do you do? I'm a banker. Oh, that's nice. What part of banking do you do? Oh, I'm a salesperson. I'm not interested. I think you mentioned something very important. I think there are a lot of people that parting ways is very difficult for them.
Yeah.
Parting ways with their money, that is.
Yeah.
Like, it's very difficult for them to part ways with the money. And you see, if you're parting ways with, let's say, 10,000 Ghana cedis to get an iPhone 15 or something, you get instant value. You see the physical product. But in banking, you're parting ways with your money for a promise or a promise of return.
An experience
that you can't quantify. And so, do you think that sales in, let's say, a manufacturing, let's say you are selling air conditioning or you're selling IT software or whatever, is it more difficult? Is it different from banking sales, or they are all the same?
I think yes, the processes may be the same, but the should be the outcome. So we need the same skills, the negotiation, the relationship building. But if you are selling a tangible item like a food, the person knows, okay, this an 8 kg, the camera quality is this, is that, I'm good, okay, I'm buying 10,000, I'm okay. Now, you come to the banking space, you are you want somebody to bring his hard-earned money, keep it with you for a period. You are promising the person a competitive interest rate. You are promising the person safety. And for us in the banking space, these are some of the battles we have to fight.
Yeah.
Safety of funds. So you have to present yourself and your products in a manner that the person can trust. Of course, we have people who are high risk takers. They don't care where their money is going too much. Once they're able to get the juicy rates, they are game. But for a lot of people, you have to promise them, you have to sell to them the experience they are going to get, the safety of their funds. Because of the recent happenings in the banking sector, it's made a lot of people very careful, extremely careful. So you, the person presenting or selling the product, you have to present yourself in a particular way. Because I've come to realize that most of the people we get on board buy into our products because they feel comfortable with us.
Yeah.
Because with the current happenings with the treasury products, I've had the first hand experience. Like, you have your money there, you think you're going for it, and it's locked up.
Yes.
They say, oh, come maybe next month. And they keep tossing. So right now, safety has become my priority, not even the interest rate. I'm not looking at the rate, I'm looking at safety.
But Calvin,
Will I get my money back?
I get my money back.
do you think that a time will come that AI can replace market sales, like traditional selling? That AI we can evolve to a point where
replace
where
human touch.
I mean, if you develop an app right now, right, as an IT person, can you sell the app without any human interaction?
Human interaction.
Can you?
Yes.
So do you think we can get to a place where companies don't need salespeople to go outside?
Yes.
You think AI can?
Yes and no. Because recently I was showing something to one of my colleagues in the office, and there's this marketing company in Dubai. They just picked one sales client, one sales rep, and they took a video of her and everything. And she didn't come to the office again.
Okay.
Now, from that video that they had, they generated other videos too. With AI.
Okay.
If I show you the video right now, you know it's AI. But it's AI. The AI picked the features, generated the person, sold other products. So they have a whole platform for that AI. And it's just like, if someone tells you that it's AI, you won't believe it. But know in the sense that you can't replace human empathy. Like, you can't replace that with videos and no, you can't.
But don't you think some of these AI tools can be programmed so much so that it can
adjust to
the same empathy?
So at this moment, ChatGPT is the most advanced AI that we have now.
Yeah.
And even chat
What about DeepSeek? I heard DeepSeek was. Well, before you answer that, please don't forget to like and to subscribe and share the video so that other people can watch. Okay, please continue.
Okay, so there's a battle between DeepSeek and ChatGPT. Let's not forget that AIs, they have to learn first in order to work efficiently. Now, Chat has been with us for how many years? I think since 2019 or so. Some even claim it's longer. And DeepSeek just came into the sense. Now, DeepSeek is free. There's no paid version of DeepSeek. But Chat has been around. It has been learning for years.
Yeah.
And right now, like, I use Chat for a lot of my works if I have any issues. And it has developed, like, first I used to use it for works and I stopped it because it was giving me wrong answers. But right now, most of my works that I do, like, is on point. Maybe a few mistakes here and there. I don't think, honestly, me personally, I prefer ChatGPT to any other.
You know what, guys? I think we should have another session to talk about AI.
Yeah.
For now, we would have to wrap up, unfortunately. I think we've said it all. Sales is a very crucial skill, and not just for a business person, but whoever you find, whoever you are. If you're into entertainment, if you're a lawyer, whatever, a doctor, you still will have to sell yourself. So thank you for watching. Don't forget to share, to like. We'll catch you another time.